Just another peaceful moment.
Not yet. Something inside me calls out from nearby. We shouldn't rest until it's whole again.
Blessings upon you. Certainly. Kai's blessings know no bounds, but sometimes it's useful to seal them in a handy flask. May Kai's word always...
I like it when things are quiet.
So, look who's here. Has the destiny of the South graced my humble abode? You just killed a knight of the Round Table, and you have no questions about what it was for. I mean, really? Because sometimes the best defense is a good offense. We were backed into a corner, eh? It were us or him. First off, he represented Camelot, and we're done with their influence, no more of their wars. Second, after the massacre of One Eye's tribe, his death was convenient for both of us. And when the tribes finally unite and come down from the mountains, there's a chance they might leave us alone. Third, he figured me out. He knew what I'd discovered and he wanted to stop me. And trust me, what I found is going to change the South's history. Proof that Camelot is rotten to the core, and that allying with the tribes is the right choice. I didn't plan to tell you, but my one-eyed friend convinced me. Since you took down Galahad, you deserve to know. As a reward for your help, I'll share this secret with you. Here, take this seal. In the sunken village, you'll find the entrance to Sewell's crypt. Everyone knows the story of how the evil druid sealed and flooded the place. It's true, at least part of it. But the real story is why they sealed and flooded it. One Eye broke the old seals and replaced them with his own. If you want to see what Camelot was so desperate to hide, you'll find your answers there. They thought drowning a village would keep it secret. Behind the statue, you'll find where to use the seal. Once you do, you'll see that history is very different from what we've been telling ourselves. If that doesn't convince you that Camelot's foundations are more crap-coloured than tinged with ivory, then nothing will. I won't tell you anything more. I'd hate to spoil the surprise. I'll catch up with you later, and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll understand exactly what I mean.
Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Sewell and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
nothing ever happens.
I know this place. I remember it, although my memory is still clouded. I was here with Merlin. We had a disagreement about something important. It was here that the idea of how to end the war with the Four Dwellers first took shape. But what happened next is still unclear. I don't remember. And yet, I know it had something to do with Seawall, a place of his eternal rest. But something is wrong. It doesn't feel like a tomb. Be cautious.
Dalriata promised me revenge. They understand what happened here. Everyone who comes here has the right to ask. I was the most loyal of Arthur's men. I was the first to go ashore and take on any danger that might arise in this new and unfamiliar land. Then came the war. I fought by his side, shielded him with my own body. I trusted him. But Arthur wanted more. Arthur longed to possess a power equal to that of our enemies. So Merlin decided our king must first become immortal. Only then could he achieve greatness. But Merlin needed volunteers. Trusted people to go first to make sure that his methods were effective. So we wouldn't risk Arthur's life in trying to grant him immortality. They thought I had died, so they buried me. Arthur's greed and Merlin's obsession made me what I am now. Arthur should have made sure. They thought I was dead, but I heard everything. I know there were others after me. I know that the king didn't hesitate to do anything to achieve his goal. He experimented on all the knights, abusing their oath. He told them it was for the greater good. Their lives, our lives, meant nothing to him. Arthur doomed his people to eternal suffering. Their names forgotten. Their loyalty abused. He sacrificed the lives of the noblest of men. And this is the greatest possible betrayal. We cannot be helped. We cannot be killed. The Dalriata promised to burn down Camelot, avenge the memory of all my brothers. Camelot was built on betrayal. People have the right to live in truth. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Build a new world. Let the dead leave this one. Kill us. Avenge us. Kill us. When Camelot falls, we will finally be free. Avenge.
And? What do you think? So, look at it this way. Seawall, the founder of the famous stronghold in the south, Archer's legendary aide and his trusted friend, in reality, meant nothing to him. I feel bad for him when I think about it, you know? 600 years spent in a tomb, fully aware. But why does it matter? Perhaps it doesn't matter to you or me, but there are people who will be shattered by it. It'll open their eyes and disprove everything they believed in until now. I couldn't come up with it if I tried. And I didn't even have to try, because it's all true. To some extent, at least. Well, maybe not. But who cares what actually happened? Huh? At first glance, it's proof enough of how corrupt Camelot is. How Arthur used his most loyal friend, the founder of the Horns of the South, for his own gain. How he doomed him to eternal suffering. Who cares if it's true? Can't you see how powerful this message is? Even if it's just a fable, is it a different fable than the one we've already been told? Huh? It's definitely more powerful than all the hogwash we've been fed all these years. Well, now we've found ourselves in what I'd probably call a clusterfuck. And somehow, you unwittingly became the most important person in the region because your decision will change how the entire situation unfolds. You see, my boys from the Horns of the South are split down the middle. Some will back me, but others won't understand what I'm trying to do. The latter, like Feargas, are the traditionalists, and they know me a little bit too well. If I come to them with this revelation, they think it were a conspiracy. But if somebody from the outside, somebody Feargas trusts, steps in and convinces him, you see where I'm going with this? Oh, talking to you is like talking to a herring. Let me be blunt. It is a conspiracy, but it doesn't matter what it is or how it looks like, so long as it works. Our only hope for the future, for any future, is aligning with the Del Rita. In order for this to happen, my keepers need to see how rotten Camelot is. Is it rotten now? Yes, definitely. Was it rotten in the times of the king? I don't care. But the hope that it was, the ideal that people cling to, that's what people still believe in. And that faith is precisely what needs to be torn out of their hearts if we're to see any tomorrow. So, what's it gonna be? Will you help me save the South? Ha! That's what I wanted to hear. I knew I could count on you. Go talk to Feargas. Get him to visit this place. After you're done, please visit me in the shrine. I just hope Feargas shows some sense and doesn't let his pride take over.
Oh, really? And here I thought the Horns of the South had no secrets left to hide from me. But go ahead. Surprise me. Have I ever mentioned I'm not a big fan of your sense of humor? Now, tell me what you really want, or walk away. In silence, preferably. This isn't funny. I'm no Galahad, burning people at the stake for heresy, but I don't appreciate this kind of behavior either. Still, judging by the look on your face, you actually believe you've stumbled onto something important. All right then. I'll go and check it out. See what's got you so worked up. It might even be nice to get out of here for a change. I saw what you wanted me to see. We need to talk. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think. Everything I believed has been seriously challenged. I need some time to get used to it. Why did you show this to me? Because it could be that I'd be better off not knowing. What they did to Seawall is unthinkable and absolutely unforgivable. What will the other keepers say? What will happen to the Horns of the South? And what about Camelot? Everything we believed was a lie. You're right. In the end, it doesn't matter what Camelot was back then. What matters is what we are now. And we did everything in our power to keep the South safe, and to keep our lighthouse on through every storm. But this will be the end of the Horns of the South. No young man will join our ranks when hundreds of years of our history are gurgling down the drain. Any ideas? It sounds better than the alternative. That we're a bunch of fools believing in children's fables of knightly honor, valor, and purity. And we'll have to give everyone some hope to cling to after the truth about Seawall comes out. All right. I assume Brandon put you up to this, so you can go and congratulate him. He won. I'll support this case, if only for the safety and well-being of our boys. I don't have to like it one bit, but I can try to make it easier for the garrison.
Ah, you're back. So, what news do you bring? Did you talk to Feargas? Good. Just as I expected. I do feel for the boy. He really loved Camelot. Probably the last truly loyal keeper. But he had to know the truth. I knew his honor wouldn't let him hide it from the others in the Horns. Nicely done. Now, I'll get One Eye, and together we'll go to the Horns with the good news. Not everybody will be happy about it, but that's for me to deal with. Those who don't support us will be released from their oath, and I'll ensure they're safe until they leave the South. After that, whatever they choose to do is up to them. brothers, today marks a new chapter in the history of the Horn to the South. Today, we put an end to fear and poverty. I understand your pain. I know you feel helpless in the face of the looming terror of the weirdness. Camelot has abandoned us, brothers. For years, they've given us no aid. All they do is take our resources, send us to senseless slaughter, and keep us in the dark. Camelot doesn't see us as equals. They've forgotten Seawall Firstfoot's legacy and the promise King Arthur made to us. We were meant to stand as equals. We were meant to be just as powerful as them. And all this time, do you know what they've done to the founder of the Horns of the South? For over 600 years, Seawall has been alive, forgotten by King Arthur and all of Camelot. You don't have to take my word for it. Seawall's tomb is open. Go and see for yourselves. I say, enough. Enough of being fed a rotten myth that turned out to be one great lie. We swore loyalty to the torturers of one of the noblest knights to ever walk Avalon. I say, enough. We will no longer honor an oath made to dishonorable people. We won't let ourselves be exploited any longer. But, my brothers, I bring news. Galahad the Pure, the same Galahad who threatened to burn half our garrison at the stake, is dead. Galahad's death is our chance to break free from Camelot. Enough lies. No more risking everything for those who only know how to take. You're probably wondering, how can we protect the South on our own? How can we defend ourselves when Camelot comes to reclaim their slaves? Yes, that's what we are to them. I know the lockdown of the fortress surprised you, and for that, I truly apologize, but it was necessary to keep you from attacking our new allies, the Del Rita tribes, led by One Eye.
I know, my brothers, I know. This must be a shock, especially since I did not share my plans with you earlier. But hear me out. Thanks to this alliance between the Horns of the South and the Dalriada tribes, we are securing the safety of the South and our independence from Camelot.
The tribes will provide us with the military support our depleted ranks desperately need. The tribes will help us rid the South of the bandits who've plagued our people for years. Together, we'll share knowledge and resources to ensure a better future for all Southerners.
We will not drain your resources. In fact, we'll replenish your armories and fill your pantries. We'll stand together, fighting side by side to bring peace and order back to the South. In return, all we ask is your loyalty. If you see a brother from the Dalriada fighting the Camelotian, stand with our brother. That's all.
Of course, if anyone isn't in favor of this alliance, you have the right to leave the service. I declare a new era for the Horns of the South. Those who don't wish to help build this future are released from their oaths. To those who choose to stay, I promise a good life, and you won't face any more threats. Now, brothers, return to your duties and rest easy. The Horns of the South will endure, and soon we'll be stronger than ever before.
This feeling, it was so strong, so real. I remember now, the weight of it, the power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that began 623 years ago with the first keeper, Sewell Firstfoot. I'd also like to bring your attention to our numerous exhibits that are, as I like to say, inanimate witnesses of the history of the Horns of the South. The museum holds a collection of 72 items of the so-called movable, tangible heritage. The collection includes big and small items that represent the world surrounding the keepers of the Horns of the South, from the 1st to the 6th century of the Avalonian era. Here you will find militaria, craft tools, Dalrita, here in our keep, barbarians, they'll plunder everything,
An honest matter. What do you need? Oh, normally that wouldn't be a problem. I'd have appointed you on the spot. But a tragic accident has happened, and without a living Galahad, there's nothing I can do. You could still help around the keep, without becoming a keeper. The only way I can think of is conducting an ancient ritual, but it might be a bit risky. You see, there are many different legends. According to one of them, there are a few places on Avalon where you can prove yourself worthy, whatever that means. And one of those places, as you can probably guess, is nearby. Have you seen the old gong in the sunken village? Well, many years ago, when people still went to the woods for a shit instead of using a privy, it was part of a certain ritual. Only the people who passed the ritual could become keepers. None of the living keepers were recruited that way, so we don't really know what happens during the ritual. That's why Galahad now appoints keepers and the captain chooses them. It's just safer that way. I only know that you need to sound the gong and then lie down to sleep at its base. If you wake up, when you wake up again in the morning, you'll know you've been deemed worthy. Unfortunately, the gong is broken, so first you'll need to find a way to fix it, and since it's made of weird steel, that's not going to be easy, is it? Fortunately, Oshbrit should be able to help you. A little bird told me he likes to play with weird steel when nobody's looking. Just tell him I sent you, and he won't give you any trouble. Go, and may the southern wind be in your favor. If you need anything from the old captain, you know where to find me.
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant, ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe.
Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it. Oi, friend. You went and made armor, based on the Armor's Almanac, didn't you? I should have warned you. That's a terrible idea. Those books are the biggest load of crap I've ever come across. And I've talked to Hrolf when he's had a few too many. Yeah, well, Alar is a fanatical follower of that Shadowblade. He's read a couple of those books, and suddenly he thinks he knows my trade better than I do after 40 years in the forge. He even had the nerve to argue with me. Now, I told him I can hammer your face just as easily as this steel. Well, that shut him up quick. Arden Shitblade, you mean? Of course I don't respect him. That fool is ruining the reputation of every armorer out there. No one knows who he is or why his nonsense even gets published. But plenty of people would love to get their hands on him. I'd gladly get rid of him myself. You don't get it. Those books, they are dangerous. Now think about it. Somebody reads that nonsense, makes armor, and then heads out into the world. What do you think will happen? They sure as hell won't become a Knight of the Round Table. First Grindelow they come across will punch right through that garbage armor. Exactly. That's why I think Arden needs to be stopped. Break his arms, so he can never hold a pen again. Well, if you could find him, knock some sense into his empty head, and cut off his hands, so he'd never write another book. I would cover you in gold. I've got no idea. Maybe Alar knows something. He's the biggest admirer of that charlatan I've ever met. He's been trying to share the wisdom of those books, but I chased him off and haven't seen him since. Oh, kid. For a favor like this, I'd be plenty generous. Trust me. Thank you. You'll not only make this old smith happy, but the entire guild will be grateful. Riordan's back, and with the Dalrita, no less. Bold move. Let's hope he knows what he's doing, or the keep's going to be in for one hell of a mess. Oh, not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Oh, a wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. Island Asylum? I don't remember being there, not clearly. But when I look at your face, something stirs. Yes, I'm sure we've crossed paths before. And look at you now, out in the world, breathing the fresh air. That's something to treasure, my friend. Freedom is a gift, even when it feels heavy. Enjoy it. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you, I hear you, and I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell, and thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
How did you, oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.